that everybody's not all, one side is not all guilty and one side is not all innocent. And I'm like a fan of yours when you came out. But the thing I like the most about you, I went to talk to you because I'm like, this nigga always takes the women's side. Like,
Mark,
damn, like, can a man, like, Marc, I love Marc, but I'm like, he always takes the woman's side.
Some tight-ass hoodies.
And listen, if he's a man and he says he's a trans man, she's going to take his side even more because as a woman, you take that. And I'm just like, Marc, we are black men are being attacked, and you are one of the biggest voices out here. Mm-hmm. And what I'm saying is that if you don't give a voice a reason, one of the smart ones, I'm going to look at it as an ignorant nigga, but you're a smart one. So if you don't give reason, nigga, you just allowing them to railroad as many of our black men as
When have I ever said anything?
No, Marc, Marc, you always say I'm with a woman. I'm with her. That's why I knew you was. That's why we brought it up. I'm like, I can't wait to hear what Marc gonna say.
Yeah, I don't think that's the case. But have you ever seen me take an unreasonable position on an issue between men and women?
I'm a fan of yours. You never take.
I don't think.
But it feels like it's always if a man did it, he's the piece of shit.
You feel like that's what happened in this conversation today?
No, not right now, but I wanted to get your thoughts. That's why I brought it up.
Because right now you're not watching the clip. You're watching the whole conversation. A lot of times it's nuanced.
Yeah, for sure. No, that's true. That's true, too.
When you hear the whole conversation.
But that's why I wanted to get your opinion on it. But at the same time, I'm telling you, as brilliant as you are, at some point in time, as black men, because you got to look at, listen, I worked in the music business. And for 15 years of my career, I was clear, Joe. I didn't know I was black. I was the black guy that did business with everybody. So when you get in those rooms, you start hearing how they try you, how they drop notes. So it's a really slick, like what they call passive-aggressive way of putting things in the air, saying, how Joe gonna feel for this? So they'll be in the staff meeting and be like, Jay-Z is really not gonna let anybody make money with him, so why we do business with him? A white man says that. What do you think he's saying that for? He's trying to read the room. Let me see how these motherfuckers gonna react so I can know how far I could take it. So when you just like, yeah, he did it, they're like, well, the educated man is saying he did it. We can all say, when you should say, let's go through the due process. I love Haley, I love DDG, but I always look at who's connected to who because they were young and in love. Right. Somebody was in the house like, this how we gonna handle this. Right. DDG is a little nigga that just wants to fucking stream. That's all he wants to do is stream and rap. Yeah. I don't know what she is. And by the way, if you follow DDG, he talks about music, streaming, and his child.
And his kid.
And that's all he cares about.
That lady.
And another thing.
Remember, I didn't
start to say that he couldn't have done those things.
No, that's my point. By the way, I'm not saying that at all. I don't want to say that.
And I didn't say he didn't. I mean, he did, right? Well, I began by saying, this is why I begin from presumption that anybody, male or female, man or woman, I begin from, if you say that you were abused, I begin from a premise of believing you, but also investigating so we can find out. I don't think we should ever not investigate.
Thank you for that, Marc.
I don't think we should ever say just because you said it is true. But historically, when it comes to sexual assault in particular, if a woman said it, we begin from a presumption of prove you're not lying.
Exactly.
As opposed to
what was your initial reaction to Jussie Smollett?
Same as it is now.
I
don't know what I'm trying to avenge that ugly attack that happened to him, and I've gone looking for the MAGA people myself to help to liberate. Yo, Joe's face was like, half the room was like, this motherfucker. No.
I ain't gonna hold you. I'm like,
it can't be us. That's Marc. It can't be us. I love it.
Jussie and I are very, very cool.
Your network.
Your network. Did you DM him when hold up. Did you DM him when it first happened?
Yes.
No, I called him.
Oh my God. Yo, get Miz the fuck out of here, man.
The more it was almost like the Chappelle bit. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I mean, I had two thoughts. One, my first thought, I spent a lot of time in Chicago. I've been in Chicago June 1st, by the way, check me out there. Also been St. Sabina tonight.
God.
That was amazing.
But I go to Sabina, I go to Chicago in June for a reason. Because it's cold as fuck in Chicago.
Never lied.
Between September and like the day before I get there in June.
May. Word.
And then it's hot as balls from,
Facts.
So,
yes.
So when he said at 3 a.m. he went to Subway and he walked for hours to get, especially a Subway sandwich.
You're not walking to Subway.
Who the fuck? Not even Uber.
You're not walking to the car.
In Chicago. So it had nothing to do with race. It had nothing to do with sexuality.
Where'd you stand on that Kevin Hart car accident?
Kevin and I grew up like 2 blocks from each other.
What, Marc?
I'm from Philadelphia. That's my answer.
That's fucking answer.
That's your bias.
I did not understand the question, nigga.
That's your bias.
I'm telling you.
I'm my man, Miz.
Shout out to Kev. That's my nigga, man.